moving forward, those with a need for speed are going to have to find a greener fix. The good news is there is a sassy solution already here. On this edition of Test Drive, the BMW i8. BMW i8 plug-in hybrid's look was enough to stop traffic wherever it roamed. Regardless of whether viewed from the front, back or side, the style is quite unlike anything on the road. Of course, the fact it's a fuel miser as well as being very fast cements its appeal as future transportation. Any self-respecting supercar has got to have a wow factor. Well, this thing's obviously got style and it's got two scissor doors. But it also has one more thing. The entire passenger cell is made from carbon fibre. That makes it lightweight. So as this car sits here, battery and all, it still only tips the scales at about 1,500 kilograms. At the heart of the i8 is a rear-mounted 1.5-litre turbocharged three-cylinder engine that produces 231 horsepower and 236 pound-feet of torque. It drives the rear wheels through a 6-speed automatic transmission. The other half of the hybrid is the front-mounted electric motor. It chips in with another 131 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. The electric side gets its juice from a 7.1 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery that delivers an electric-only driving range of 24 kilometers. That, however, is a conservative number. I started most mornings with over 30 clicks showing, and in many cases managed to attain that number when booting around the city. The regen braking in this environment also helps to prolong that initial charge. The cabin of this i8 is not the easiest one I've ever found to get into, but once you're behind the wheel, it's well worth the effort. Everything falls readily to hand, and it arrives with a decent heads-up display. That means that the main instrumentation becomes redundant because I ended up relying on all the information that hovers at the end of the hood. I really did like this car a lot. Beyond electric only, there are 3 other driving modes. Eco Pro pushes the quest for fuel economy to the max, Normal is for the city, and then there's Sport. With everything amped up, the i8 has a net system output of 362 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque, which is enough to get to 100k in 4.4 seconds, and it does the 80 to 120 passing move in 3.5 seconds, both of which are world-class times. Remarkably, it did this while delivering a test average fuel economy of 7.3 litres per 100 kilometres. Now that was better than I expected, given the test was conducted, well, let's just say, at an enthusiastic pace. Any notion that this car has a back seat is very quickly quashed when you look at it. Even I'm not daft enough to try and sit back there. The best way of looking at that rear seat is as an extension of the 184-litre trunk. There's also one more pet peeve. Believe it or not, this i8 does not have blind spot monitoring. In today's electronic era, that's unforgivable. The handling is just as light and tight as the composite body. Part of the reason is the road-hugging centre of gravity and the fact that the powertrain delivers all-wheel drive. The second reason is the suspension and its adaptive 2-stage dampers. In any mode except Sport, it keys on ride comfort. In Sport, the dampers and steering firm to bring a much sharper feel to the drive. The i8 now holds the driver's line with the tenacity demanded of a sports car. Throw in a brake pedal that has none of the usual hybrid mushiness, and you have a serious speedster. This new BMW i8 really does take the sports car in a very different direction. It's still got wow, it's still got performance, and it's got dialed-in handling, but it's also green, which promises cleaner air for future generations.